How did Kaizer Chiefs lose to Mamelodi Sundowns despite having a very solid defensive plan and a very solid attacking plan? There was a flaw with both plans, and the defensive side, when they continued making the same mistake, they got punished. Let's talk about this game. We're starting with the defense. The defense, obviously, Kaizer Chiefs, from the beginning of the game. Sundowns have been doing this thing of just kicking the ball to the right-hand side of their opponent, which is their left-hand side. And in this game as well, they started by doing that. And this is where we first saw the first problem that was going to keep on happening for Chiefs. You see the players that are highlighted right now. That is Roshan Dudley and Inacio Miguel. And there is a huge gap between them that was supposed to not be there because, well, you're supposed to play closer to each other. But it didn't end here because immediately after that, within minutes of that, you see the same thing. Urenas is pulling Inacio Miguel to the right-hand side, and then Inacio Miguel is following him. And now look at the distance between the two of them. That should not be happening. And given the fact that they also have a player like Mfanalo Waga Ripero who's going to identify that space. But forget Ripero. Look at what happens in this case right now. You have Reyners going wide, and then after that space is open, he now wants to run into that space. Well, fine, it doesn't work. But look at this again. This is Chiefs. These are their defenders being pulled to the right-hand side because Ufrosla is being pulled to Utiwani, and then Inacio Miguel is following Urenas, which opens the space. Now you see that Uputiloaga Ripero is looking at that space and salivating, thinking, play the ball there. I'll go and destroy them. In this case, the ball is played, but it does not go in that position where Ripero is. It's played to the other side, in fact. And then you look here. So Ipola is switched once again to the left-hand side, which is the right of Kaizer Chiefs. And there's that huge gap between the defenders. And in this case, Frosla has covered that distance. But the defense is a bit disorganized. And Sundowns are able to then play the ball around them. And look at that. That gap is now created again. And then the ball is played back and Sundowns are taking a shot. By the way, take note of where that shot is taken because we're going to come back to it. Okay, fine, sharp. Sundowns shoots and then the shot is saved. Now, 40th minute, Kaizer Chiefs are playing again, pressing, and look at what's happening. That same gap, that very same gap that we've been complaining about, and now the ball is played through into that gap, and then Ubanlo Urenas gets the ball, he plays it there, and then the goal is scored. All of a sudden, Sundowns are leading because of the same thing that had been happening the entire match. And after 40 minutes, they finally got punished. You can clearly see the guy's not offside. He makes the run between the defenders. And the other thing that I wanted to show you in this goal that is not showing now is this thing in particular. So before the goal goes in, right? So the ball is played over between the defenders. Now, if you look at this moment, look at Kaizer Chiefs defenders. Instead of closing down the person, you have Abomar, you have Abodot, you have everyone. Their primary concern right now is referee make the decision. Look, so the ball here is played over and they all stop. They are looking across. Why are they looking across first at what the linesman has to say? Stop the ball, play to the whistle, guys. And they did this thing against Stellenbosch as well. And they do these things of just stopping. And then they realize, oh, we're not going to get the decision in our way. And then now they finally decide, oh, no, we actually have to track back now. But then it's too late. And then by that time, smart players have found that space and they've punished you while you are busy throwing your hands in the air. The guy is not offside, which is what people have been saying that it was offside. But it just wasn't to Reyners. And by the way, I have to say, I don't think there's anyone else in South Africa who could have scored that goal. Only Reyners could have scored that. Only Ripero could have scored that goal. I'm just going to say his technique is out of this world. By the way, while we're here, before we continue with what Chiefs did right, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's look at Kaizer Chiefs now when they were not sleeping on duty. So you will see that Kaizer Chiefs, I have not started by talking about how good they were. So look at this. So you see that Chiefs, in their press, what they were trying to do, they were having 5 people at the back, right? And those 5 people included Frosla as a right back, the center back pairing, Udove on the left, and then they would have Modi on the left-hand side as a left wing back of sorts. But also what you must note is that this was not a defensive 5-3-2. it was quite offensive. The 5-3-2 was just to make sure that the team has enough width when we're in our like when Sundowns is in their final third, which is closer to our box. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, I would say that. So here's what happens. You see that Frosler is up here pressing further up the pitch, which is something that he wouldn't do if Chiefs were planning to be defensive the whole game. You also see Modi here on the top of the screen. He's there trying to press. He's not just sitting deep. And what happens is that now you also find Udove also pressing high, pushing closer to Ribeiro, so that when the ball is played somehow by Sundowns into those areas after Chiefs puts them under immense pressure, then they step up and then they can nick the ball back and start rotating it. And once again, you see this same thing happening. They step up to Ribeiro, they win the ball back, and they always have Umoris up front, and they also have Lilepo, so that when they break on the attack, they have options. But then when you go to the box, they're not able to finish their chances. So here's another situation. You can clearly see that Frosler is about to step up, because obviously the ball is being played on the left-hand side of Mamelodi Sundowns, and Inacio steps up. What happens in the goal? In this case, you can clearly see that they are quick to recover and work together, and then they play the ball over. And then here, perhaps Ukai Ulilepo could have passed the ball to Dupree, was in a better position. But it decides not to. Here's another press when Chiefs were doing this thing very well. You see that the ball is being played, and Chiefs just apply that constant pressure. You have Dupree applying the pressure, you have Umtu applying the pressure, then you have also Ulilepo applying the pressure, and then they can try and get a goal from there. But then we're not quite clinical when we're in the box. And once again, you have Chiefs smartly pressing Sundowns and forcing Sundowns to basically play the ball long, but then they intercept the ball. And now Chiefs are in a situation where once again they can recover because they still have enough men at the back. And now from there, start a counter. And as it was the story of the day, if you don't know, they couldn't get to the right positions and do the right things, but they just got into the correct positions and then somehow failed to take advantage of that. You have Umtu, for example, in this case, playing the ball, and then the ball is played across. It's a cutback, but then Sundowns do very well in defending that opportunity. Once again, Dove steps up here, wins the ball back, and then ball's played to Cele back to Umtu, who shoots, but then it's a team effort. So it clearly was there. The plan was there by Kaizer Chiefs, just that Sundowns got their opportunity and they took it. Now let's look in attack, because there was also a point in attack. They also tried to do things in attack, but let's look at this. So this is Kaizer Chiefs trying to play out from the back, and the plan was to play the ball to the right hand side, because obviously there was Utiwan on that side, but also there was arguably Kaizer Chiefs' best attacker, which is Ulilepo. So when Chiefs were trying to even go long or even play the ball, they were trying to attack that side. So here you have it, Kaizer Chiefs have the ball, and then the first instinct is to go long, and this is within 4 minutes. So they're playing the ball to that side so that Umoris and Lilepo can hold up play and bring the other guys into play. So there you go. The ball is played long after inviting the press from Sundowns. But this is not the only time, because you have Upvuma again playing the ball to the right-hand side, but the passing is not accurate enough. By the way, if you want to kick the ball forward all the time, be accurate at least. Okay, Bruce? Thank you. Now, we move on to the other situation where obviously now Chiefs were creating a chance from the right. This time around, they don't play the ball long. They played short. Uvoma Penix plays the two Dove, not Dove Penix. Utitloko, Minutotli, and then Morris sells that dummy, and then all of a sudden Ulilepo is in. And once again, we're in this position. Mdu, look at the amount of space, or in this case it was Modi. Modi fails to cut the ball back and create the right chance. And then you have the other situation that proves my point. So you have Ucele with the ball, and then he switches the ball. Look who's there. Frosler definitely wasn't defensive. And this is the chance I'm talking about. He plays the ball. Look at this. Ntusha Balal, you can trap the ball here. The defender is already panicking. He's going to take you down. You can cut the ball back to Modi, who's in the box. But no, he chooses to go first time and he misses. By the way, this is the same type of miss that Umart made at FNP when we were playing against SuperSport United. I'm just saying. Anyways, Kaizer Chiefs had something very good in this game as well. Ball rotation and baiting and switching. So you see Chiefs, they are attacking, and then Umtu realizes, okay, I'm not going to get through here, Umtaulo, and then he plays the ball back. So they are restarting now because, well, Sundowns have recovered. But now they're overloading that left-hand side, and Sundowns are like, oh, okay, yeah, we've pushed them back. But look at that. Modi at that time kept his width and stayed up there while Sundowns were baited to follow with Chiefs. And then now Modi could then come back into the box. There's an argument that was a penalty. I think so, because he looks like he was pushed, but we're not going to dwell on that. So here's another thing. Kaizer Chiefs rotating the ball very well again. And let me just pause and say this. Sundowns did look tired, right? I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, but I will also say as much as Chiefs looked like they had a plan, but Sundowns also looked tired. Because tell me, how does Sundowns allow this to happen? Just the ball is passed around them and all of a sudden there's a ball over. They not do praise, not clinical in the box. Instead of playing the cutback, he doesn't do it. So here's another situation. Chiefs have played the ball in the back, and now Vilakazi gets the opportunity, and now he plays the ball over. Dupree again tries to hit the ball instead of chesting it, but then that was the story of the day. Not taking chances, and the better team with better quality took the opportunities. But what did you guys make of this? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Help us reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of March. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.